Yes, but no, you go ahead and walk around.
Could we introduce the crew? My name is KJ. I will be one of your tour guides here today. Down on the lower level, we have Jen. And your captain today is the good Skipper Craig. Everybody say hello, Skipper Craig. Craig is a veteran here in Western Brook Pond, my friends. You are in great hands. But it is important to remember, we do not stand and linger in front of the captain's wheelhouse. Because yes, Craig does like to see where he's going when he's navigating our vessel. Also now, my friends, this area you see here to the front of the boat, you see me standing in it right now. We don't mind if you come up here and you take a few photos, but we do ask that we do not stand and linger in this area. When you're done taking your photos, please move to the bow of the boat or return to your seats, because right here we're in everybody's view and in everybody's picture. Now everybody has full range. Move around the vessel as much as you would like.
Yeah, I do.
Move across the top deck, on down to the bow of the boat, or vice versa. And now we do ask, if you're moving around the boat, remember, it's a good idea to have one hand for you, one hand for the boat. Everybody is in front. Now, if you got the snakes on board with you, if you got any chips, burns, cups, waffles, you got a lot of this on you. Please do not take any trash from the hook and put it down onto the deck, because the wind may take it out into the pond. And we do want to keep this as clear and pristine as we do see here today. Now, we do have the proper garbage cans and recycling bins down on the lower level in the canopy area. If you do enter the canopy, please watch out for a 2-foot step. But you do need to walk over, my friends. We don't need anybody tripping and falling.
Our stuff are right here, and I just want to make sure nobody touches it.
Now, another thing to mention, the red chairs everybody's sitting in here today, they are made of plastic.
People are there right now?
And not easy to leave requirements.
There, but they're not sitting down on our stuff. Just keep an eye on them.
Like we said, they are plastic. You push back too far, they will break. So, please watch out for that. One more thing about our chairs, very important, especially if you got the young kids with you. There is absolutely no standing on the seats, leaning out over the sides of the vessel, or in between the railings. No leaning with the windows. My friends, a lot of areas doing this. Especially so if everybody can stay on board the boat, that would be great. One more thing for Transport Canada, we got to let you know. This is a smoke-free vessel. So now that means no cigarettes, no cigars, none of those green left-handed cigarettes. None of all that is legal here in Canada. Yeah, some people out there don't do that. And now that includes any type of vaping products, my friends. There is no smoking on board this boat whatsoever. Now, that is it for our housekeeping. Like I said, my name is KJ. This right here is Jen. We will be your tour guides here today, so do not hesitate to approach us with any questions or concerns that you may have. That is what we're here for. And until we get the commentary rolling, just relax and enjoy your tour.
So far,
We're not there yet, but I mean, like, what's less amazing, or what's more amazing than that?
we're going to the Fjord.
Fjord, like usually with a Y. Fjord.
Oh, why? Put your hand
I'm not looking for that. I'm making sure that I didn't drop my tooth. And those two Asians that were there, they weren't sitting next to me.
No, somebody was sitting. They were sitting there first and then they just
Yeah, but they weren't sitting on my stuff.
no. They were sitting and then they got up and they were sitting.
Oh, right now,
We
my
don't own
friends,
the spot
over the
anyway.
next 2 hours, these two hosts will be going to report on the Now, the history of our national park is beginning right here. Going back 50 years ago, when provincial geologist at the time, Mr. David Baird, who I did not bring me at the time, Mr. Joey Smunger, to a park on the west coast of Newfoundland. Now, he's seen Western Brook Pond, and he's right the whole world, and he's got plenty behind him. Now, the park today develops 1,805 square kilometers of the Gulf Sandboard's lowland, as well as the Long Range Mountains. Now, the history of the national park is the same right here. Let's go to that today. This is a billion-year-old story of sea level change and earth movement, of water flowing and and the life of its Fjord. Now, the lofty cliffs that we can see ahead here, they actually mark the front of the Long Range Escarpment. And in the days before electronic navigation, these cliffs, they were used by sailors and fishermen out to sea as landmarks. And not for the day. That's what today. They can be seen as far away as 48 kilometers, or about 30 miles.
I do it for you.
And now, since most everybody walks here today, let's get one of our most common questions out of the way early. How do we get new boats in here? See some people have that question. I'm going to tell you, the vessel we're on right now, this is the Westbrook 1. This is the newest and the biggest boat in our fleet. Now, this vessel right here was brought in several separate pieces. Over the bow, you see over here to your right. Now, it was done in the winter time to prevent from doing any damage to the people, animals, and wildlife that live on that there bog. But now, our sister ship, the Westbrook 2, that vessel is actually out on tour right now. We'll pass that about a quarter way through our trip. That one does have a little bit of a different story. Now, it was also brought in several separate pieces, but we didn't have enough snow or ice to support the weight of a boat that size, and here we did put it to the surface. So the separate pieces for our sister ship, they were actually flown in a helicopter to Halifax and came to our bowhead, which you can see over here now on the right-hand side of the boat. The building back here is in one store. That is our bowhead. Now this is where our vessels are assembled. This is where we do maintenance on our vessels, as well as store them for the winter. Now, that building looks pretty small from over here, but just think, my friends, we fit 3 boats almost this size in that building. It is a lot bigger than this. Now, that gives you a little scale, a little idea of how far the bowhead actually is from this right now. With the ocean part of the pond back here being approximately 3 kilometers from one side right to the other. Also, my friends, another thing we do ask, if you are not using your chairs, please do not take bags, put them down and save 6 people on board, but rather use the 60 people are moving around the vessel. Please share the space. Thank you very much.
spray or whatever you call it, sunscreen or whatever, it punctured a hole in it, it seems, and it dumped out. So I'm out. So I get to.
I'm wearing the sunscreen on my hat.
Yeah, pretty much. So, and I don't want to get burned on my neck, so there you go. I'm already nice and brown as it is, but I don't need to be red. Just sitting here and the sun baking down on it is pretty hot. It's not really hot, I get a nice cool breeze, but it's alright.
The trappers sat fox, weasel, beaver, and monkey. These
called Fjord. Western Brook Pond is no longer a true fjord. Now, that is because it is filled with fresh water and salt. Now, these rocky glaciers around this pond, they are a typical glacier profile of a glacier by volume. And over the past 2.5 million years, glaciers have come down these mountain walls more than 40 times. And as the ice melted about 15,000 years ago, well, the sea came flooding in. And this was a true fjord up until about 9,000 years ago. Now, that is when the natural rebound from the earth came back up from this pond off. Gravel, sea shells, and even some whale bone were found in there. So anybody whale watching, you're about 9,000 years too late. Missed it by that much. Now, my friends, we asked a lot of questions well, you've seen the Newfoundland lose it all the last few years. You may know that spruce covering has been giving us an issue with the droppings. Now, we get asked, is this some type of bug or worm or beetle? Well, no, my friends, that is not what happened over here. What you are seeing on the left-hand side of the pond, this is actually moose damage. Now, this goes to show you what a moose can do to an area in a very short amount of time. Because a moose will actually strip all of the leaves off the trees. Therefore, the tree dies. Now, all the new foliage coming up underneath, the moose will eat that as well. So we can clear cut or devastate an area in a very short amount of time. Now, this also goes to show us that there's absolutely no lack of wildlife here in Western Brook Pond. We certainly have moose, we have black bear, we have yellow, we have Captain Red, we have
Biologists call this an ultra-oligotrophic lake. And what this simply means is that the water here has very few nutrients, and it's not very productive. And because of its low nutrient levels, Western Brook Pond supports fewer plants and animals than other lakes of comparable size. From the water line to the top, you're looking at approximately 1,900 feet.
about 600-meter drive. And another great opportunity to answer another family common question here we just made in the Western Brook Pond. Is there any type of rock climbing allowed in here? Well, the answer is no. And there's three big reasons. The first reason being is that's anti-crazy. The second reason being this is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Therefore, we want people to protect it and experience it. And the final reason being this is actually a metamorphic form of granite and a bit more brittle. So if the climber appears and protects himself, it is not guaranteed that it will hold the weight. Therefore, it is too dangerous. And we do not allow any type of rock climbing in the Western Brook Pond.
Not to start to put an anchor in it in that type of rock. Because it's too brittle, like you said. Who knows that? Could you possibly do it? Whatever, you could, but there's no guarantee. They don't want a liability. They don't want people dying on the mountain. Now we'd have learned that it's granite. We don't take that for granted. Did it for not even 30 minutes. They were walking at a good clip. You look over here right outside the front door of the close. There it is. The beautiful Western Brook Pond. Also known as my office.
The rock itself is a granite, and it's in excess of 1 billion years old. It's often referred to as the Grenville Basement Complex. because it underlines all other rock types on the west coast of Newfoundland. In studying mountains, geologists have learned that the roots of a mountain can extend down into the earth as deep as the height of the mountain itself. So, at one time, these mountains may have been as high as the Himalayas, but now, all of these roots are these pieces of distant roots. The long-range mountains extend from Fjord all the way to St. Anthony, and these are the northeastern portion of the Appalachian Mountains.
And now, my friends, as close as we do get to these cliffs, no need to worry. We still have approximately 300 feet of water in these boats. Anybody curious about the horizontal line as we're going up the mountain? This is actually stone left over from the 40-plus glaciers that just come down through here and carve out this valley.
Over here on the left, you will see a beautiful hidden waterfall called Blue Lemon Falls. Perhaps it gets its name from the blue cast that can sometimes be seen on the water's surface when the sun's rays strike it at a certain angle. If I could direct your attention to the opposite side of the pond, you will see a large U-shaped or bowl-shaped valley. This is a perfect example of what's called a hanging valley. This feature was formed when a small tributary glacier flowed down into the larger Western Brook Pond, carving out a smaller valley that now appears to be hanging in mid-air. This gives us an idea of what the field would look like without water. You'll notice the deep side, the deep center, and a typical U-shaped profile of a glacier outside.
like a dolphin.
That's a porpoise. That's not a shark. They're completely different.
Yeah, no, I know.
Porpoises are mammals.
But they're similar in the fact that
No.
Now, my friend, you look off over here to the left-hand side of the boat, you're going to see our most famous rock slide. Now, this rock slide you see right here, this occurred on June 17th, 1994, at exactly 1:35 p.m. And now, these days, you know it, last week, the time to have a rock slide, you can prepare a boat, the Westbrook Pond is just out here by 305. All that rock is washed out. Now, here is the new rock slide. You can understand, you had approximately 25 people on board that boat. You can imagine, we're on this brand new ship now this is over. Now, this is our boat is in the trailer. And we're waiting in the pond. We have so far back to the line. That, well, this is really great. This is where the rain most of the it's going to go down.
Large pointed head. He's bald on one side with green hair or trees on the other. He has two sunken eyes, a piston-shaped nose, a mouth, and a large extended chin. Over the years, we've had people say he looks like a lion's face or a tiger's face. But here at Western Brook Pond, he's simply referred to as the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz.
Got a picture? Looking for a tin man, you probably don't see nothing. Nothing at all. Got him up there, my friend? I call him the Rock, but that was already taken, so now we just call him Dwayne.
Thank you, sir.
Got it, not a problem.
Good.
Got him, my friend?
Yeah, got it.
Got him.
all that can come.
We do.
He's an alien.
He looks more like an alien. Yeah.
As long as he's illegal.
That's true. Hey, there you go.
There you go.
Everybody good, my friends?
Yeah.
Perfect.
I was just asking if there are any, like British Columbia, if there was any like mountain goats, any other mountain lion, anything like that that can trek that. Maybe some mountain lions, maybe, but he was saying that black bear, he saw actually moose up there. He has no idea how they got up there. He said, but yeah, he said it was pretty interesting. He said, but they don't have any legitimate mountain goats in here, unlike BC, like the big orange sheep or anything like that that can trek that. So he said he saw caribou up there, but only in the wintertime. So that's that. Tell everybody what you think so far. So anyway, so what do you think so far?
It's one of those things that we never knew existed, and once you experience it, it's like, oh my goodness. It's like one of those things that, like I said, I think I said it in another video. Newfoundland is a very big surprise. Had no idea what to expect. Did not know that I had to take a ferry to go over. You know, you take things for granted. You don't hear like Newfoundland Island, but you just take it for granted that you have to take either a ferry or an airplane over. And then when you come and experience the vast land and the way of life, and then here the fjords, even learning about fjords, I had no idea what that was.
Well, actually, we had the gentleman running the ship. It is called a fjord tour, but the reason they do that, I mean, I'm not a fjord expert or the origins of them in that sense, but he was explaining that technically speaking, it can no longer be called a fjord. They call it a pond, and the reason they do that is because all the water below us used to be salt water X amount of thousands, if not millions of years ago, but when the glaciers hit and everything, one moment.
The right-hand side of the boat, you are going to see our tallest point in Western Brook Pond. Now, this big mountain over here is a big chunk or a big cavity missing. This is what's known as Broke Off Cliff. Now, like we said, this is our tallest point. We do got a story about Broke Off Cliff on the way out, how it got its name, if you can't guess. But like we said, we use a lot of numbers, but no scale. So let me ask, anybody on board ever been in Toronto? All right, the whole boat, perfect. You ever been in Toronto? You're gonna know that the CN Tower is one of the tallest freestanding structures you'll find anywhere on planet Earth. Now the CN Tower comes in at approximately 550 meters tall. That is pretty tall. Broke Off Cliff right here. This actually comes in at 700 meters tall. So that mountain right there is approximately 150 meters taller than the CN Tower in Toronto. But like we said, it certainly doesn't look that way with everything else almost being as high. In fact, the rotating restaurant is going in next weekend, right up there. All you can eat Jake's dinners every Sunday, buffet style.
Now, folks, if you look over here on the left, high in the mountains, you will see another beautiful waterfall flowing gently down the smooth rock incline. This is called Wood Pond Falls, and it begins to descend over 60 meters, or 1,900 feet above us.
And now, my friends, right next to Woody Pond Falls, we have Woody Pond Gulch. Now, local old-timers would tell us that herds of caribou would migrate down this valley over here to the left. Then they would swim across the pond, or if it was frozen, they'd cross the lake and go up this narrow channel. You see over here to the right. Now, this would be done in the spring of the year, when it was still covered in snow and ice. Making the track to the caribou, that was easier. Now, once on top, there's a windswept plateau, known as the Big Level. Now, this is where hundreds of caribou would congregate to have their young. Now, we have approximately 400 caribou here in Grossmoor National Park, but that number certainly does fluctuate because they are migratory animals, moving in and out of the park boundaries freely throughout the year.
First introduced to Newfoundland in 1878. Two animals were brought here from the Western Islands and raised by the early 1900s. And Newfoundland is still no seen in the news. It was decided to reintroduce some more. So, in 1904, 4 animals were brought here from the Maryland of New Brunswick. The new Disney Car was well over 100,000 here on the island. Grossmoor National Park, Newfoundland area has one of the highest new population densities found anywhere in the world. If you take into account individual habitat, you will find that we have approximately 2 minutes to look at.
So anyways, as I was saying earlier, that technically this is not a fjord anymore because below us is all fresh water. It's not salt water. When they had that, when the glaciers, they said fell, the earth shifted and it had sprang back up and blocked all the salt water and all the water that came here now over the course of years, thousands of years. Is now fresh water, salt water. So they technically just call it a pond now, but by all technical standards, a fjord had salt water, but they still call it a fjord because that's where it originated as.
It's almost dinner time, but it's a very good experience going through the fjords and seeing all the different types of mountains and different characteristics. There's some woodlands, sort of, forestry. It's like a combination of different types. And one of the things that I'm not sure if you heard, Newfoundland, the moose population is the most throughout the world. And the reason is because they have 2 moose per square kilometer. That's a lot. If you think about 1 square kilometer, right? For those mathematicians, it's like a square kilometer is like 1 kilometer on the 4 sides of a square. So, and within that area, you have 2 moose. So that's a lot. And when you calculate the square kilometer of Newfoundland, then you can determine how many moose they have. You can do that all over. Tell me if you got the answer. First, you have to find out what the square kilometer of Newfoundland, and then find out how many moose they have.
There's another rock formation, this one is easier to see. You look up over here, right-hand corner of the boat, right-hand side, way up to the top of the escarpment. Now you can see the sky behind him. It's the side profile or silhouette of an old man's face. It looks like he's laying back. He's looking out over the fjord, like I said, right-hand side of the boat, right to the top. You're going to see his forehead, his eyelid, his nose, his lips, and his chin. Now, the estimated age of that old man, is to be around 650 million years old. And he's never missed a day of work. It's amazing. If you can't see him, not to worry.
See the
Me and
flat
Jen are
mountain
coming
over
around.
there?
We'd be happy to
And on the
point it.
left-hand side, there's a peak. The peak is his nose. So it's like his forehead, the eyebrow, the eyelid, his nose, lips, and chin. And he's laid back, looking in over the fjord. Yep. Everybody over here, yeah, perfect. No, see this flat mountain up here? And see on the left-hand side, the peak?
Yep.
That's his nose. So it's like his forehead, the eyebrow, the eyelid, the nose. He's laid back, looking in over the fjord. Perfect. So you folks like that?
I can hold it for you. edge of the plateau. This waterfall is called White Point Falls. These falls vary in volume depending on how much rain or snowmelt we have at any given time. This waterfall
like all the others in the area, is actually insignificant in supplying water to the pond. For its size, Western Brook Pond has very little inflow, and the only outlet is Western Brook. Now, to give you some idea of just how little water enters or leaves the pond, it would take approximately 15 years to flush itself. Meanwhile, most other lakes of comparable size would flush or renew its water 6 to 8 times per year.
And now, my friends, you look up over here to the right-hand side of the boat. Trickling off the high ledge of that plateau, you're going to see another waterfall up right here. Now, this waterfall you see here to your right, it got a little bit of a different name to it. And I can assure you, us here in Western Brook Pond have nothing to do with naming any waterfalls you see here today. That waterfall right there is known as Pissing Mare Falls. Now, Pissing Mare Falls, that's actually the tallest freshwater free-flowing waterfall you'll find anywhere in eastern North America. Coming in at 2,200 feet high.
You dare not repeat it. This is the end of the inlet.
And now, my friends, from the dock we left to this small dock you see over here on the left-hand side of the boat, we traveled some 16.5 kilometers or 10 miles. Now, that small dock you see right here, this is actually a drop-off point. So everybody kept the other half of the blue ticket. That was my friends with the good. Now this is our drop-off point, plus for experienced hikers who want to do the long-range traverse, a 35-kilometer, 3 to 5 day trek from here to the base of Rosemary Mountain. And now keep in mind, there is absolutely no marked trail. So map and compass skills, well, they are most definitely essential. Now, we can't drop off just anybody here. You've got to have a backcountry permit from Parks Canada or hire a licensed guide. 3 to 5 days in the backwoods with just a compass and lots and lots and lots of flies. Who wants to go? Just me? Say, my friend, I go in 10 seconds. Let's do it. I'm in. Now, as you can tell, we are turning around the boat. We are going to hit our own wake, which means we are going to bump for the next 20 seconds or so. You're standing. Good idea to have a hand for you, a hand for the boat. You don't want anybody tripping and falling in. And now, some of you may have seen that famous picture of the hikers high up in the mountains. Or maybe that iconic drone shot coming down through the valley. And all those Newfoundland tourism ads, commercials, and advertisements. Well, those famous shots, they were captured 3/4 up this valley, directly behind the back of the boat. And sinking in the direction we are headed right now. Here it is, my friends, the world famous Western Brook Tours. This is also a great opportunity for you to get your picture taken at the back of the boat. Gents here on the top deck, we're going to line up going in through these rails, my friend. You get your photo in back, come on up to the other side. I'm coming down to the lower level. We would be happy to take some pictures for you. Now, my friends, don't worry. We will make sure everybody's Facebook, Snapchat, and Instagram ready. We're ready to go.
There we go.
You get to see the
Yeah. Well, we did all, whatever you call the title. I went to all the ships and all Fjord, boat tours. And then it's like a lot of people. Or whatever. I think. Getting a free shower right now. That's great. Oh yeah, about that. Speaking of that, we got some information. It's pretty awesome. There are people, because remember I think I said it at the beginning. Oh, I didn't say it. In order to get here, you don't drive in off the road and park and then the boat's there waiting for you like you'd imagine. It's not. We have to walk, and I say walk, not that it's a big deal, but you walk into the bush 3 kilometers to get it. And then that was one would ask, how in the world are the boats there? You had to walk into the bush. Well, that's a funny story behind that. They literally flew the boat over and parked, and they had a helicopter, a big massive helicopter to drop all the parts, and they literally put the boats together piece by piece, and that's how they're on the water. And they told us for our benefit that they used a really good super glue. So we're hoping that we make it back. We heard a couple cracks along the way. We're not sure if we're going to make it capsize, but if we don't, we'll do our last video. God willing, before we now that's what they did. They put it up. They put it all together, and all of us. So the boat, and they have a repair story. They have a big hut where they park. They have 3 boats. This is the biggest of all 3. This is the biggest and newest one. So there you go. There's some trivial information for you. How we got the boat here. So when we leave, we get the joy of again having another 3-kilometer walk back up the bush onto the parking area, and so we get the joy of trekking, and the scenery through the bush is awesome. You're not, I say through the bush, but it's not really quite accurate. It's like an open area, but you're right at the foot of all the peninsula and the mountains. So you're in the middle of it, but it's a breathtaking view all the way along. Gorgeous. So that's how we got here.
And this video is good for like if you want to relax, because there's a lot of footage of the water, the mountain, and just the scenery. Then you can hear the rushing water and perhaps the wind. So it's very good.
You can take a look at this. Oh.
view.
Look up over here on the left-hand side of the boat, we're going to start all in moisture. And about $168 in the CA Tower in Toronto. Well, now we're closer. I got that story that broke out with and exactly how it did get its name. Now, Reg Roberts in Sally's Cove remembers his father's tale of a massive rockfall right here in October 1911. Now, Reg Roberts Sr. was in here setting up a small traffic session for Michigan, Otter, and Beaver. They left his boat and all of his equipment back at Stag Brook, which is where our boat races today. Then in his own words, he said he walked out over the bottom. Now, when he returned, like 3 days later, he said his boat, his equipment, well, they were all gone. And all the trees you see over here on the left-hand side of the boat, well, they were all washed down some 800 feet high, and more than a mile long, washed clean clear with a bare rock. Now, when he was driving, it sounded a lot like a tsunami. Oh, now it's the weight for the same motion of that massive rockfall. Now, this was later verified by student captains because the ocean was littered with debris at this exact same time. Now, a rockfall like we saw right in October 1911, it is a rarity. But our boat skipper, well, they can't see the smallest light in here.
Probably the highlight of our trip.
And not only that, but like a therapeutic video with all the rushing water, the scenery, all that. So we're just gonna sign off for now. Hope that you enjoyed, and I know this is a different type of video, and you can use it for like relaxation, just to enjoy the scenery. And I'm sure the GoPro gave a good, provide a good coverage of the whole thing.